It's over, James. It's all finished. No more Christmas, no more New Year. I'm not even going to ask you how it was. We're just going to go straight into 2022 because 2021 was a shit show, and I've swore less than a minute into the podcast. There's nothing you can do with it.
Do you not think that 2022 sounds like 2020 Part 2?
I've heard that so many times before that it fills me with inexplicable rage, and I think I could punch you through the monitor if I could.
You probably can't.
No, probably not. And also, to answer your original question, no, I don't think. We're not alone today. This is the second time we are going to be not alone this time. What are we doing to ourselves? Why do we drag other people through this? We're joined by Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hello. How's it going?
Yes, it is. It is going.
It is going.
It's going very slowly already.
You know what? I'll ask Tom. How was your Christmas and New Year?
Well, my Christmas
That's
was
enough of that. We're
working.
going straight to 2022 now. Did you make any New Year's resolutions? And if you did, I'll judge you harshly because nobody keeps them.
No, let's go back. How was your Christmas and New Year, Tom?
It was all right. I was working Christmas, so I just did nothing. Sat in front of my laptop working. And New Year was okay. I didn't do much really, but yeah, so it was all right. Weren't too bad really, I suppose.
I'm going to ask you, Pete. Either you want to. What did you do for New Year's?
Yes, indeed. I was in bed by 10 o'clock, so...
I stayed up this year.
You're a big boy now.
Yeah. Well, last year, we were playing games, and it was... we was playing along, it was like, oh, Happy New Year. Carried on with what we were doing. This year, I went to a park.
A park?
We also see distance in our bubbles, but near where my cousin lives, there's a... Well, it's a park now, but it used to be like a fort overlooking the sea, so it's like a really high up. And if you turn, it's like a 360 view around it, so you can see all across the city, so you can see everybody's fireworks going off, which is quite cool. And that was it.
Yeah, everybody's bored already.
But did you see all the people that went to London to watch the fireworks, even though they've been told for the last 6 months there are no fireworks in London for New Year's? And then all the same people then complained that there were no fireworks in London for New Year's.
I did not see, no.
Yeah, people, as they always do, they wouldn't line the South Bank and all that lot, looking at the London Eye, waiting for the fireworks, and it was 3, 2, 1, nothing. It was a little light show, and that was it. They especially said there will be no fireworks this year. Do not go onto the banks. Stay socially distant, stay at home, blah, blah, blah. And everyone still went there.
I suppose they were hoping for a bait and switch at that point. We said there would be no fireworks. But no, there was indeed no fireworks. I don't know why everybody wants to go outside and look at fireworks anyway. Can you not just sit at home and shine a torch in your eye whilst clicking your fingers down your ears? It's just, what's the point?
Did you get woken up by fireworks, Pete? Because I did. I was in bed before midnight, and I got woken up by bloody fireworks at midnight.
No, I didn't. But I'll sleep through a lot of things. You have to try really, really hard to wake me up.
Fair enough.
World War III's declared.
Yeah, that's quite possibly what the case would be. Especially if it's outside. There's just not a chance something's going to wake me up from outside my house. You know what I mean? You're not even trying unless you're in my bedroom.
So, if someone wants to break into your house, it doesn't matter if you're there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm there if I'm asleep. Although if I'm awake, I'd probably just watch them bewildered and be like, what are you doing? Like, oh, do you need a hand?
It's like, can you stand up a second to take the chair you're sat on?
Of course I can, sir, since you asked so nicely.
Take the iron brew out of your hand.
Alright, so we can all agree that the last 2 years have been absolute shit.
Yeah, but this year's going to be the same.
That's what I was just about to say. Everyone's
all
filled with hope.
Variant. Yeah, they're going to find another variant, and we'll all be back in lockdown again before we know it.
Yeah, it's just going to be great, isn't it? Which I you know what? Actually, I'm saying is absolute shit. It's absolute shit for everybody else. I feel sorry for normal people. I feel sorry for everybody who likes to go about the day and actually go places. For me,
you notice no difference.
Yeah, well, I do notice a difference actually, because if somebody says to me, "Pete, do you want to go do this today?" Ha! Boris said no.
I've got an excuse.
Exactly. It's like having a note from your parents to get out of something at school, and it's fantastic.
Pete can't do PE today because of COVID.
Yeah, Pete can't go to Costa Coffee today because COVID. Pete can't.
Because Boris said so.
Yeah, Boris said so. Somebody is telling me to stay inside, and I don't need to be told twice.
You can get Costa Coffee delivered these days, though. You don't need to stay inside to get Costa.
I don't even like coffee. That wasn't the point, Tom. The point was, I don't need to go anywhere. I don't drink coffee. I don't want it.
Yeah, but Pete, it's a modern society, so you could get coffee delivered.
Well, they deliver tea as well.
No,
And
you can
equal
get a coffee
opportunities
delivered,
here. Yes, tea. Don't forget tea.
and then you can have a Zoom meeting with these people that you still don't want to talk to.
Ugh. No.
Yeah.
It's even more awkward.
Yeah, it is more awkward. It's almost like this Discord call where we just talk over each other because we can't see. We don't know who's about to say anything. It's impossible to read anything.
I just don't like hearing what you say, so I try and talk over it to blank it out.
Hey, I tried to do that to myself as well.
You try to quiet yourself with your own voice.
That's why I get louder as the podcast goes on.
Surely that's just like putting 5 out of napalm. It's not going to work.
To be fair,
I mean-
right, if you had a decent editor anyway, the editor would unscramble the words so that we weren't talking over everyone anyway.
Yes, but we had a decent edit. Oh, fucking hell. It doesn't matter. No editing can save that.
We
but if
don't
had a
even have
editor-
decent speakers, never mind decent editors.
If we had a decent editor, we'd probably have followers, which we don't because it's edited by an idiot.
Hey, I got 2 more from work yesterday. Or today. When did I work? It was today, not yesterday. I wasn't at work yesterday.
Was it for the podcast?
Yeah,
Hi, new people.
Hello.
if you're watching. I don't even
Honestly.
remember who it was. I just remember talking about it.
They're just customers every time someone gets some food. Listen to our podcast.
Can I have a podcast? Just yell it at them.
I'll get business cards made so you can put them in all the burgers.
Oh no, let's not do that. That's contamination. That.
Right, just put it in the bag then, is that better?
I suppose. I don't think I'm allowed to do that. It's. I mean,
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed
being
to do that.
being allowed to and not doing it are 2 very different things. But I don't think I'd be allowed to do it.
Delivery drivers do it.
No,
We ordered.
Yeah, that's normally a menu rather than an advert for a shit podcast, isn't it?
No. We ordered Frankie and Benny's breakfast the other day, and when I went to take the bag out to the bin, I looked inside the bag and there was a business card for a decorating company, which
Nice.
I'm assuming was the drivers, the delivery drivers.
What an enterprising individual.
Yeah, fair play. At least he's trying. But the question is, did you need any decorating?
No, I don't.
Would you have phoned him if you did?
I don't know, possibly. If I was thinking about having my house decorated in the near future, I'd have probably kept the card at least.
See, now, would the quality of the food have affected your decision making based on that, though?
No, it's
Yeah, I mean, if
it's Frankie and Benny's breakfast. It's just a burger bun with 2 sausages stuck in it. There's no quality there.
But if
it
it-
looks crap, but it tastes nice. It's all right.
This podcast
it
is not
comes really-
sponsored by Frankie and Benny's.
if it was the phrase "it looks crap" probably isn't in the script. But the question is, if it got delivered really slow and the guy just like threw it at your house, you're then probably not going to get him to paint your house, are you? He'd already tried to paint it with Frankie and Benny's and it hadn't gone well, so.
I've always wanted that sausage burger look. Right, we're going into
So-
another year that's going to be, just god awful. It's going to be awful, mostly because everybody else is going to be depressed. Again, people like me, recluses and hermits, are loving it. Do you guys have any like coping mechanisms other than drinking hard liquor?
Work. Just so much fucking work.
Is that a coping mechanism, or is it just your only option?
It's my only option, but it's also a distraction. You don't have time to be sad and depressed when you're tired.
That's I can't fault that.
You can't fault that logic, can you?
No, it's okay. Yeah, fair.
I
So
don't really
you've
have
become an
anything.
alcoholic.
No, I haven't. Not really. I've built myself a bar, but there was a reason behind building myself a bar, and that's because
Because
obviously
you're an alcoholic.
to do the cocktail streams on Twitch, which I don't do anymore. Anyway, so I've just got a bar now.
Was it one of those? Yeah, I've got an excuse. Did one stream? It's like, right, that's it. I can start drinking now.
I did 3
Okay, so does that make it okay?
and a pub quiz.
Do you need a bar to do a pub quiz?
Well, it's not really
Need
a
a
pub
pub,
quiz if it's not in a
typically.
bar, is it? Yeah.
Well, you're not. But just because you have a bar in your house doesn't make your house a pub.
Well, no, that's true. But I could apply for a license.
Yeah, but you're not going to do that, are you?
Well, no, because they're all shut down, aren't they? It's like we're all going around in circles again.
Pubs are open at the minute.
Well, no, well, yeah, they are, but not for
It's
long.
probably inadvisable to go.
I went out for a meal the other night.
You're
Did you
part
get
of
a
the
Frankie and
problem.
Benny's?
We wore masks all the way there. We pre-booked it. We were sat on a table socially distanced from every other table because it was really quiet and there was nobody else there. We drank a lot of alcohol and that stops COVID, right?
It's just a really sad existence, isn't it, right now? It's like there's just no atmosphere for anything anywhere. Except online, in a
really
Discord
good-
server.
It was really good food though, if that helps.
That does help,
Wait.
yeah, but...
Where did you go?
Went to Marco Pierre White's Steakhouse in Plymouth.
I feel like I should know that
Head
name.
steak. He's a chef, celebrity chef, famous chef.
Did he
person.
cook you the steak?
No. It's just a restaurant with his name.
Does that mean you paid a lot more money for him to not cook your steak?
It wasn't cheap, no, but it was a really, really nice steak, if that helps.
I don't know. If you don't ask me about steak, I eat well done.
Don't ask me
God,
about steak.
really?
I don't eat steak.
Yeah. You're a vegetable.
I am a vegetable.
That's not very nice. You bring him on just
He
to
said
call
it
him
as well, so it's
names.
fine. Pete, we started a podcast just to call each other names.
No, we didn't need this to call each other names. We call each other names anyway. I had a point before I asked this question. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I was talking to people at work today about the importance of sometimes not looking at screens.
Okay, why not?
It's a tumbleweed moment there. What do you mean not look at screens? I spend my entire day looking at screens. No, okay, no. Specifically, it was
Spend most of
to
the day
do
looking
with
at cars.
and screens. That's your job. I meant like outside your job. So somebody was saying that they didn't have time for something. They didn't have, what was it? I think it was to read a book or something like that. So they didn't have enough time to read a book. And I thought that's just fucking ridiculous. You do have time to read a book, but you spend most likely 4 to 6 hours a day after work just scrolling through all your different social media apps.
What if my book's on my phone?
Well, that's fine, James. Why do you have to
So I'm
split
allowed to look-
hairs?
So I'm allowed to look at my screen then?
Well, anyway, this opened. I'm just going to ignore you. This opened a conversation as to how people constantly feel overwhelmed by how much they've got to do, but spend a disproportionate amount of time ignoring the things that they have to do. So, for instance, there are people who will. Let's attack a younger generation. You 16 and 17-year-old wankers. You'll not clean your room. And you'll be going, oh, my room's a mess, and then you'll just sit on social media typing and taking pictures and sending videos to each other of how messy your fucking room is, and it'll take you 15 minutes to clean it.
See, I've been moaning my room's a mess. I need to clean it. I half done it today, and then sat and watched Netflix instead.
There you go. The importance of sometimes not looking at screens, because I bet you sat and watched Netflix for much longer than it would have taken to clean your room.
I was still sort of half cleaning while watching Netflix.
But the fact is, Netflix got in the way of your ability to properly clean it, didn't it?
No, my laziness got in the way because I wasn't watching Netflix. I'd have just sat and stared at stuff and done nothing.
Good heavens
See,
above.
I've come up with a way of sort of like doing things together, and sort of like multitasking, I suppose you could call it, right? See, I go to work. I have my laptop that I have to look at for work stuff, and I'm at work for 12 hours. Now, obviously, we're working from home at the minute, so I'm at home, and often we're not busy. So during work hours, I like tidy the house and stuff, do the washing, do the pots.
See,
And that
See,
way,
I
after
still-
work, I've got time to do whatever I want because I've done all the housework and stuff while I was at work.
Some
You're
people
supposed to
don't
be
get
working.
that option. And I'd also feel a lot better about doing housework if I knew I was racking up my hourly rate for it as well.
Yeah, it's a good job my boss won't listen to this podcast.
It's a good job nobody will listen to these podcasts, let's be honest. There's some of the things we say
we're
are absolutely awful.
losing a viewer this week on the podcast because Tom's one of the few people that actually listens to it.
They'll probably
still
listen just to
listen
see
to
how
it.
much you screwed up the audio.
Yeah, how much like a chipmunk you've made me sound.
You keep annoying me, you'll become a chipmunk. I don't know how to do that, so it's fine. You're safe.
That would require reading and learning.
Yeah, but he ain't got time to do that. He's too busy scrolling through Facebook.
I would
Dear
like
me.
to defend that I don't sit and go through multiple social medias because I'm old and still only use one social media.
Well, you see, I got rid of what do I use now? I use Discord and I use YouTube.
Does Discord count as social media?
Yeah, is Discord your social media?
I don't know, but it's the only thing I would check on a regular basis now.
I must admit, it is more social for me, Discord, these days than anything else. I haven't updated Facebook in like 3 years, I don't think.
No, I haven't. I just use Facebook to see stupid videos.
So I don't use Facebook, I don't use Twitter. I've never used Snapchat. I don't even know what TikTok is.
I use Twitter to complain about things.
Yes, I'm the same with Twitter. I either use to complain about things or find out if something's not working.
Yeah.
Find if other people are complaining about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, my internet's gone down today. Let's go check my ISPs. Oh, there's 4,000 tweets all tagged #Southwest. There's probably a problem.
See, I deactivated my Facebook in 2017. I briefly reactivated it sometime in 2018 or early 2019. But in the time that I used to spend scrolling through social media apps, I then took up other hobbies. So I started painting miniatures. I started my YouTube channel. I've learned so much more things. And I found much more enjoyment in the things that I do because I'm not just reading about other people being angry, which for some reason gives you second-hand angriness. Whether it's to join in with what they're being angry about, or to be angry at the other person for being angry at something so fucking mind-numbingly stupid.
Sorry, did you use the term second-hand angriness rather than second-hand anger?
No, angriness is the word, thank you.
Anger.
It's just been a very long day, and nobody listens anyway. I don't have to regulate my own speech.
You should.
I should, yes.
You should use this podcast to help improve your vocabulary and your articulation.
That'd be very difficult talking to you each week, James.
Exactly. If you can train me, you can train anyone.
But nobody can train you.
You can train me, you can train
I've brought Tom on to try and train you. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, I've tried for years. It can't be done.
I say Tom's tried for 8 years. He's given up at this point.
Yeah.
How long ago did you two meet now?
Ooh, it was during Mists of Pandaria, James. So what year was that?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm Googling it now.
Go on.
Talk among yourselves.
Use your Google foo. So yeah, I'll tell you the story of how me and James met because it's actually quite funny. But
2012.
2012.
It was
So
9
yeah,
years
it's
ago.
9 years ago.
September 2012. But
Right. So yeah, have you met my mate Johnny, Pete?
I don't know.
No, I think you know of him, but I don't know whether you've met him or not or spoke to him. But anyway, me and Johnny.
he sounds very northern.
Yeah. And me and Johnny were obviously best mates in real life. We went to school together, and we started playing World of Warcraft together. And we'd sort of been on and off playing it. We sort of came in, started playing it just after Vanilla got released. Then we completely skipped to Burning Crusade. I'm forgetting the name of the expansions, James. You might have to jump in if I could completely have a brain
then
fart.
Wrath.
Yeah, Wrath we played through, but then we missed the third one.
Casa.
Yeah, and then we came back to Mists of Pandaria, and we thought, right, we're going to get a guild, we're going to do all the PvE content, we're going to do all the raids and that sort of stuff. And Johnny was sort of like trying to find a guild for me and him to go into. And that's when Johnny met James. And James was...
No.
Well, was it not?
It was Scott, not Johnny.
Did we know Scott? Oh, you know what? I'm forgetting. I thought we met Scott after.
No, it was Scott joined us for a pug.
Was it?
Then brought you guys over.
Ah, fair enough. But I can't remember the name of the guild because James wasn't the guild master of this guild. James was like the
Order of the Silver Hand.
Order of the Silver. That's the one. Yeah. So James was kind of like an officer, but not the guild master. And the guild master
had taken a break for it was going to be for 2 weeks, but this is about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. And so we came in and we started doing a few raids and stuff, but it wasn't going great because at the time, if the guild master was away, you couldn't take over the guild like you can now. If the guild master of a guild is gone for a certain period of time, any other member of the guild can take over the guild leadership. Well, that wasn't in the game back then. You couldn't do that. So half of the stuff that we wanted to do with the guild, we couldn't do. And me and Johnny were getting more and more pissed off with it. So me and Johnny were sort of plotting behind James's back to go out and create our own guild. And we sort of spoke to some of the better players in the guild and said, look, we can't be doing with not having a guild master. We can't do what we want with this guild. Do you want to come and join us? We're going to make his own. And quite a lot of them said yeah. And I can't remember how James found out about it, but I remember James finding out about
You
it.
just came and told me.
Oh, was it Johnny that told you? Because I wasn't there, I don't think, was it?
One of you just came up to me and said, by the way, we're leaving in about 2 hours. We've taken all your raiders. Do you want to come?
Yeah, we
What
did
I'm
it so
learning from this is
clandestine.
you had
'Cause-
the opportunity to leave James behind and brought him with you anyway.
well, the problem was James was actually a good player. As much as I hate to admit that, James was actually a decent player at the time.
Oh dear. Now we've
We
got it
weren't-
on record that he was good at something. I'm never going to hear the end of this.
We weren't sure how sort of connected to the guild he was, whether the guy that was AFK was one of his real life mates or anything like that. So we kind of did everything behind his back and made sure he was the last one we told. And then, as soon as he said, "Oh, could I come with you?" we were like, "Oh, cool, that's all right then." We should have told him straight up.
Yeah, you could have literally just come straight. I joined that guild like a month before you guys came along. And because I was one of the few people that knew how to raid lead, I instantly got raid leader and officer, became a second in command in about 2 days. And then, the fucking guild master then fucked off for... It was supposed to be like 2 weeks. He was going to go visit someone and just never came back. I've still got him as a real ID friend and hasn't been online since then, basically. He just disappeared. Might have died for all I know.
That would be a really sad story if he did. Then you two would have been brought together by the death of another person.
Yes.
Which would make sense because only a tragedy can bring James into your life.
But the way him and Johnny, because they both got me into the mumble, and you could tell they were like gearing up. It was like, right, there's going to be a bit of an argument and a discussion. And like, do you want to? It's like, right, we're thinking of forming our own guild. Can I come? That was it. You could tell you and Johnny had almost prepared what you were going to say, and then within about 4 seconds, I want to go.
Yeah, we didn't know whether you were going to be angry about it or whether you were going to be upset or what. We didn't have a clue how you were going to react because we didn't know how what's the word?
Yeah.
Connected isn't the right word, but involved or
Involved?
yeah, something like how much the guild we were already in meant to you. We weren't sure how
attached
much
you
that
were.
was. Attached, that's the word.
Attached,
yes.
that's the word.
Yeah.
See,
That's
I'm
what
helping
beats you.
here. I'm helping. I have a part in this conversation.
But yeah, and so
I
we've
don't-
known each
I don't
other
care
ever
for
since.
WoW.
We've been
But
in
then-
multiple guilds together and met tons of different people. And we even met in real life. Yeah, when I moved into my house in Sheffield, when I split from my ex-wife, I got my own house in Sheffield, and we had a housewarming party. And you came up. You've been up 3 times now, James. I think once we did the zombies, once before that, and then once after that.
I forgot the zombie.
The zombies
We
was
did
great.
The zombies.
Yeah,
It was Halloween.
it was Halloween. We all dressed as zombies.
Yeah, we came up for the World Cup, which was just me, Connor, and Ethan, and Johnny was there, obviously.
Yeah.
Then we came up with did the zombies, and then we came up again afterwards. Like, I can't remember what that was for. Probably just to piss up, to be honest.
I can't remember that, but I remember me, you, and Paula sat watching Warcraft movie, weren't we?
Yeah, that was the third time because I just stayed there for like a week, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's when I was doing. It's when I was working shifts. I basically finished work at 8 o'clock on a, whatever day it was.
Yeah, that's right.
Just drove to yours. The rest of the guys turned up 3 days later, and
Yeah, it was the third time when we were wandering around the streets of Sheffield trying to find a pub that we could get in to watch the boxing.
yes,
Because
we wanted to watch the boxing,
wasn't
didn't
it
we?
Joshua versus Klitschko? And we couldn't get in
Quite
any pub because they were all
possibly.
rammed.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was what it was the third time.
This all sounds like a great reason for me to stay indoors. None of this
But
sounds
then,
like a
Pete-
good time.
If it wasn't for that, we'd have never met.
I know, I'm just rethinking how much different my life could be right now.
Because the same day I picked Scott up as a pug, I picked this weird guy up called Ethan as a pug. And Ethan joined the guild and Scott joined the guild. And because of Ethan is when I met Connor, and because you obviously used to work with Connor.
I did, and the circle is complete.
Yeah.
And now
then
Connor doesn't
all the
speak
go-
to me, so, there's...
But is it Connor doesn't speak to you because he's annoyed at you or because he's got a girlfriend again?
I don't know, we haven't spoken properly for ages. Last time we spoke was last time we all played Dota together, which was... I don't even know how long ago.
Like a month ago?
It was longer than that, I'm sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think I was living here. I've been here about 3 months.
Oh no, you were definitely living there. It wasn't that long ago.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing anybody twitch down the microphone at me, that's all.
He's a lot less twitchy than he used to be.
Is he?
For those getting really confused, Connor has Tourette's and we refer to him as twitchy. I last played Dota in October, which is probably when we were all on.
I play it like semi-regularly still, which is so weird.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I just play it.
The last time I played, we played as a group, would have been October. So, a couple of months ago.
Have you started saving up for next Christmas yet, James? I remember you saying to me. No, was it not you who was saying that to me? I don't know. It can't be you. We don't talk outside podcasts anymore.
We only podcast our communications unless we're talking about the podcast, which you were late for.
Yeah, who was it that was telling me? It's really not important. The point was that it was before Christmas Day, and they said they'd already started putting money away for next Christmas, which I thought was
I
sort
haven't
of
finished paying for
bizarre.
last Christmas.
That's a sad story.
I think I have this year. I don't think I put anything on my credit card this year.
I don't think I finished digesting all the food I ate.
I ate a lot of food.
See, I didn't have much food because my Christmas was pretty much just sat at home on my own. I just sort of had normal stuff.
I would probably
didn't
have
have Christmas
more.
dinner. Didn't have anything.
I've still got half a ham, which I only cooked like 2 days ago, if you want some, Pete.
We're so far away from each other, James, that no.
But it's really good ham.
I'm sure it is. I'm incredibly distracted at the moment because somebody was talking about how this is a different Discord server. So somebody was talking about how stable their recent modded Oblivion is, and they've been launching Oblivion on and off for the past 27 minutes. So it's obviously crashing repeatedly.
It is not stable now.
Yeah, they've done something, and I just get to laugh because it's not mine that's broken.
Yeah, but the moment you launch Oblivion, it crashes anyways.
That reminds me, I've made some headway editing many hours of Oblivion.
So what, you've got an hour edited?
No, I got about 4 hours edited. I've still got another 6 hours to edit.
So you're 1% of the way through.
It's so much. There is so much. What am I doing with my time, Jay? I like editing videos, but I make absolute shite. It's just such shite.
The last few videos have got like 2,000 views. Okay, they were the shorts.
Those shorts, yeah, they don't count. And there was that stuff taken from streams from nearly 3 years ago.
You gained a couple of subs from them, didn't you?
I think so, yeah.
There you go. It's all good.
It doesn't matter. I make it for my own amusement, really, which is a good job, really, because it's just...
No one else's abuse.
No, it's honestly, it's, you know what, I caught myself off guard with something that I said in one of them the other day, because I'm so many months behind in the streams from where I'm editing now, so I've completely forgotten what happened, which means it's a nice experience for me to go back and relive some memories, but it's so obvious that I stream at the end of a long working day, because I just talk absolute wank.
Absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the moment we finish the podcast, we instantly forget what we've said. It's like if we don't think of a title for the podcast while we finish it, is when you see some of the random stupid titles that make absolutely no sense because I've had to think of it when I'm editing it, and I don't want to listen to us all the way through.
See, I don't know if you know this, James, but behind the scenes, I usually run a list of topics and sort of roughly timed segments normally. That's what I've been doing the last few podcasts, but today I just haven't done anything. So any sort of structure that I brought to the podcast originally is just gone again.
Why don't you share these topics and timings with me?
Because it's important for the organicness of the way you handle them that I don't share it with you.
You just like throw stuff at me and see what sticks.
Yeah. I mean, for the Christmas one, when we had Happy and Claw on,
we had structure for Christmas.
We did have structure for Christmas, but you'll notice, I don't know, did you listen to it much when you edited?
I had to, because I had to fix fucking Happy's audio.
Yes, that's true. But other than listening to his audio, did you notice how I handled the whole thing?
Nope, can't remember it.
Exactly.
It was more than 10 minutes ago. I forget the podcast.
What it was the equivalent of me throwing a ball for the three of you, letting you throw it around to each other, and snatching it back when it got out of hand.
I got a ball for Christmas that broke a light.
That broke a light. The ball broke the light, not you.
Well, it said moon bounce, ultra bouncy ball, but it was quite cheap, tacky packaging, so I assumed it was like just a random. It was not a random claim. I just bounced it like the floor, it hit the ceiling, hit the TV, and hit the wall. And on the way back from the wall, it hit glass and broke it.
So it was definitely super bouncy.
It was super bouncy. So then my cousin opened his.
Have you had it confiscated?
No, it's on my desk right now, which is why I remembered about it. But then my cousin got one as well, and he opened up and, oh, this looks bouncy. Bounced it, and it hit the roof, hit the light, and went out the door.
Good lord.
This is why I should not be bought moon bouncy balls.
This is why you shouldn't be bought anything. You don't deserve things, nice things.
I got nice things. What did you get for Christmas, Pete?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, we had this conversation, didn't we?
Yep.
Well, I got a nice jacket. What did you get, Tom?
No, nothing. Actually, no. I'm telling a lie. My mum did buy me something, but my mum's the only one that buys me something. Me and Paula have agreed that we will buy each other enough throughout the year that we don't need to buy Christmas presents for each other. So we don't buy Christmas presents for each other. But my mum always buys me something. And you'll like this, James, because we were talking about this the other day. In fact, I think you bought one. Your mum bought me a potato racer.
I've got it right here. It turned up the other day.
Yeah, my mum bought me one for Christmas.
A what?
Yeah, me and the potato racer.
A potato ricer.
Yeah, it basically
Right,
makes
okay.
mashed spuds for those who are too lazy
To mash.
You're lazy
spuds.
to use a potato masher. Yeah,
Imagine a garlic press on steroids.
yeah, it's a big
Okay.
garlic press. You put boiled potatoes in, and it just mashes them.
What the hell's going on in here?
Pete sounds, just Google potato racer, Pete. It's not that complicated.
Just make mashed potato. No, I just mash your potato.
I'm too lazy.
How is it any quicker? Just you still got to mulch the potato.
Yeah, but to get decent mashed potato where it's all like really no lumps and everything like that, it takes ages.
Just get a
Whereas
whisk.
ricer, yeah, but I break whisks.
You break everything. We've established this.
I don't know what it is. I have a habit of breaking whisks. But yeah, me and Tom spent Boxing Day basically. I was playing Jurassic World Evolution.
Got a habit of breaking whisks. That's such a specific thing.
I'll get onto that in a second.
It's not like I have a habit of biting my nails or like picking my nose. I have a habit of breaking whisks. They don't let me
I
into.
went through 3 whisks last year.
They don't let me into the bacon aisle anymore. I break the whisks.
I don't know what it is, but just, yeah, whisks just break for me. So I went through 4 last year.
There were 3
And,
a minute
but
ago.
yeah. Was it 3? It's 3 or 4. I can't remember. I haven't got one at the minute. I know that much because it broke. I need to replace it. But yeah, we sat basically Boxing Day. I was playing Jurassic World Evolution, and Tom was just going through the Amazon sale.
Yeah, I was just looking through the Amazon sale, seeing if there's out decent to.
Went through every single item on sale. Basically, we were there for like 3 hours.
Yep,
That sounds like a
And one of them
hell
was
of
a
a
potato
time.
racer.
can tell I was at work again. And yeah,
Well, I was
we
hungover.
found the potato masher, and James bought one.
Racer.
Ricer, not masher. Yeah, sorry, 2 different things. Don't get them confused.
They're not that different. They make the same thing.
Yeah, but one's a lot more hard work than the other. You don't want people thinking, "Oh, I need to buy one of these," because on this podcast they said it was right easy, and then they buy the wrong thing. They're just going to give you a hate mail. You're going to get death threats and everything. You don't want that.
At least someone's sending us messages. That would be a new feature.
That would be a new feature. Please do get in touch and we'll read out whatever the hell you send us.
Even if it's death threats.
Even if it's
Yeah,
death
if it's
threats.
death threats,
You know
we'll
what?
read them.
If you send us death threats, I will read them in my most dramatic voice. So there you go. Think up creative death
Unless-
threats. Different ways for me to die.
You can specify on if you don't want him to read it in a creative voice, because that's why you're sending the death threat. That you can do that.
Yeah,
as
okay.
well as
So
him
like
reading it
in
on
brackets, please don't read this in a creative voice, in a dramatic voice. Please don't dramatize and glamorize what I'm saying to you here, because I actually want you to die. That's how you
Can
start
they
a message
specify the
if you really
accent?
want me to die. Sorry?
Can they specify the accent you read?
They can specify. Yeah, you know what? If you've got requests of how you'd like your death threat to be read out, please do put that in as well.
in a Lithuanian accent, Pete.
I'd have to do some research, but I'll
No, I'm
give it a
thinking more
go.
like angry New York taxi cab driver.
Angry New York taxi cab driver. There's another suggestion. I'm going to put these all on my chalkboard that I don't have.
If I send death threats, Pete, will you read them out in the accent? I
If
tell
you send
to?
death threats, I will read them out in the accent that you tell me to. That will feature in the podcast.
New feature. James telling Pete how he's going to kill him this week.
There's some sort of salty substance on the floor next to me. I say salty.
There you go,
and
that's
sandy, not salty.
There's
not
your,
tasty.
there's your
You know
episode
it's-
title as well. There's
How
your-
do you know it's salty?
It's not. It's white and powdery. I've not. And there are
Is
no
it cookies?
drug users in my house, so.
that you know of.
But that I know of.
Yeah.
That's true.
Going back to the death threats of just 2 minutes, right? There's your episode title. The episode title can be just called "Please Send Death Threats."
Honestly, that works.
That works. Yeah. Please send death threats.
Oh.
He's writing it down. He's writing it down. There it is.
Because I'll forget otherwise. We've discussed that. We don't write it. I forget instantly. I've already forgot what we started the podcast with.
I did too.
Yeah.
I don't think we started with anything of substance, but there's never anything of substance in these anyway.
But yeah, I bought a new microphone.
You
Maybe
did
it
buy a
sounds
new
better.
microphone.
Who
It
knows?
sounds the same, James, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's through Discord though, so maybe for the podcast it will sound better.
Maybe for the podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Should do. It fucking cost me enough.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I bought another pair of AirPods, which is now my 4th pair of AirPods.
Is that because you needed more AirPods, or you just...
No, it's because I put them through the washing machine.
Is this
It's
because you've
because
got a
he breaks
habit
them
of
with the
buying?
whisks. He's trying to
Yeah,
whisk
but-
his AirPods, which is why he ends up breaking them out.
Yeah, could
The
well
most
be.
expensive habits in the world.
AirPod
okay.
whisking.
I bought Apple Care this time, so hopefully when I... But see, these ones I'm not going to fucking break now, am I? Now I spent the 30 quid for Apple Care.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
for
Is
your
that how
whisk
it
or for your
works?
AirPods?
It's for the AirPods. It's like insurance, basically, Pete.
Apple whisk.
I don't think I've ever tried to whisk Apple, but I'll definitely break a whisk.
Surely it'd be called an eye whisk.
Oh yeah, that's probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like, the watch and the watch, the pencil, and the AirPods aren't iWatch, iPencil, iPod. Well, we already have the iPod, that's why the AirPods couldn't be the iPod.
Yeah.
Tom, do
that's
you
true.
still stream?
Nah, I haven't done for a while.
Are you
When
planning
have
on
you stopped
streaming
streaming?
that
Stop streaming.
game? What was the game we were going to play?
Blood on the Clock Tower.
Blood on the oh yeah, Blood on the Clock Tower. Right. I'm not planning on streaming it, but I know people that are. And if you want to stream it, Pete, you are more than welcome to stream it.
I'm sure the
but I know
three people I stream for would come along.
There's a girl in America who's going to take part in it, which is why we're trying to work out the time zone.
Say the link and you can advertise and people can watch.
Um,
Except this is coming out after we play the game.
Yeah, you're probably better off putting putting a link in the description. To be fair, if you want to do that. But her name is Wowzers, but it's spelt with a double V, so it's VVOWEZERZ. I don't know if I've completely butchered that spelling. Then I just had a brain fart right in the middle of it.
You've
Then
just sent people to a completely different place, haven't you?
But yeah,
yeah, so
You
put
just-
a link
but-
in the
yeah, hang
description
on.
if you want to put a link in the description.
we're playing this on Saturday. The podcast comes out on Sunday.
Oh, well, there we go. Then it won't really make any difference, will it?
So we may, at
put
this
a link
point
so
we
you
may
can
or may not
watch
have had
the
a great
VOD.
time.
Yeah, you might have
We'll
loved
put
it.
You can go watch the VOD if you want, and we'll put a link below. But
Yeah, see
But
who
yeah,
showed
she's
up,
doing
see
it
if we had a
for
good time.
she's doing it for charity. So yeah, so that'd be cool. It's I can't remember the name of the charity now. It's an American charity for gaming. Something to do with disabled people and gaming. I can't remember the name of the charity off the top of my head now. I should have got all this ready. I didn't realise you were going to ask me about this.
I wasn't.
never know.
You just volunteered.
We
the
don't know what we're
information.
going to ask you.
No, we don't know.
Like,
I feel really bad actually, because normally I put some effort into planning this so I can steer the conversation a little bit and just keep things rolling and
So-
stop those awkward silences we've experienced over the past 40 minutes. But today has just not been
Yeah,
my
but
day. I'm
natural
starting the
conversation
year.
does have awkward silences.
Yeah, I know, but this isn't
That's-
natural conversation. This is a podcast. People are listening.
It's a podcast of people having a natural conversation. You
Is
don't
that it?
want
Oh,
scripted
okay.
TV. If you want scripted TV, you watch Coronation Street. It's not TV. If you want scripted audio, listen to the Archers.
What the hell does
Yes,
that
I'm
even
comparing
mean?
us to the Archers.
Who are the Archers?
The Archers, it's like an audio drama on Radio 4.
Is it?
Is it still
Who
going?
listens to the radio?
I believe it's still going. Pete, imagine War of the Worlds crossed to Coronation Street on Radio 4.
War of the Worlds crossed with Coronation Street. That's what you're going to sell it to me as.
Yeah.
They did what's it called?
The format of War in the Worlds and the content of Coronation Street. That's the problem.
Well, they did
What's so
a
musical?
radio adaptation of Hitchhiker's Guide as well, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, the radio version is really funny.
The book version's very funny.
I've
It
never
is.
read that book.
You've never read
oh,
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I've never seen the film either.
The film's there.
The film's okay. The film's great up until the ending. I think the ending's not fantastic. But yeah, the
You
book's
say- you say-
brilliant.
You say the book, Pete. It's actually a trilogy of 5 books.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's interesting.
There's no way Douglas Adams was sober when he wrote those books. No way.
I don't know.
He was definitely on some form of chemical enhancement.
You have to get him on the podcast and ask him.
Isn't he dead?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it'd be
My
more
mate's
interesting
doing
than
that
what
then.
we come up with still.
We can have a séance on the podcast.
Oh no!
pretty sure Douglas Adams is dead. Yeah, he died in 2001.
Wow, he's been dead a while.
It's a good job, otherwise it'd be him who's sending you death threats.
I'm pretty sure we've got.
I'm not fucking dead.
Yeah, it was like Douglas.
Oh yeah, because he totally listened to a random podcast. Just
You never know.
He
You
might
never
do.
know.
Betty White died as well.
I'm so sick
what-
of the optimism behind anything that I do. Why? Like James is convinced that I'm going to be his ticket into fame and fortune.
We're going to be famous one day.
No,
See,
we're
one
not.
of these days, something that he said on this podcast is going to go viral, and that's when you're going to blow up and get hundreds and hundreds of.
One of these days,
Listeners.
somebody on this podcast is going to make us have to make a YouTube apology video.
Yeah.
I'm not making that video, James. That's you.
If you say it, you have to make the video. I can't apologise for you.
You can apologise for. I apologise for you every week.
You're responsible for me.
It's just.
I'm not
horrible.
allowed out in public by myself.
I can fully believe that.
But yeah, Betty White died as well.
She did. Oh well.
Yeah, she did.
She took one look at the year 2022 was going to be and thought, nah, fuck that shit.
I like to think that she died before she was going to be told she can't play with Lego anymore.
Play with Lego anymore, yeah.
Because what sort of life?
Or was she a sacrifice trying to protect us from the horrors that is 2022?
It's not going to be that bad, James. The last 2 years
It
haven't
is.
been that bad. It's not been like the end of the world stuff, is it? It's just been don't lick
It
each
has
other.
been the end of the world as we know it. The world has changed drastically since all this has happened.
Has it really? I think it's just gone a bit more online. It's just sort of
I
sped up
got
people
stabbed
being
today.
online. You got stabbed today
Yes, I got stabbed today because of COVID.
because right, I see. Right,
Okay, I got a booster jab, but I got stabbed. I'm a stab victim.
and you survived that. I'd just like to point that out.
I'm a stabbing survivor. Oh, what have I done? Okay, I fixed it. I didn't break anything. I touched stuff. I shouldn't touch stuff.
You shouldn't touch it. You've been told from a very young age to not touch stuff because you'll break it or go blind or something.
Because we have no organisation, I'm going to go back to the working from home thing. Why can't we work from home, Pete? It's not fair, is it?
Well, I mean, do you want people to drop cars off to your house to fix?
Well, I have no tools here, so I can't fix them. So they can just sit outside for a bit, and I
So
can give them
there
back
you go.
inside.
That's
Yeah,
why
but
you can't work from home.
But
And
what if
if
you
I-
could bring your
Just give the
tools
car
home?
park.
What if you could bring your tools home? Would you work from home if you could do that? If you could bring everything
I s-
home, like the I mean, I know you have like tons of tools that are massive and stuff, but if there was some way you could get them transported into your house,
The hardest part is the lifts. How am I going to lift the cars up?
Do you even lift, bro?
yeah,
No, the ramp does it for. The lifts do it for us.
yeah, but
Weak,
is there no way
bro.
of getting that transported to your house? Like,
Bench
and-
press
to
the
the floor.
fucking car and fix it while you're bench pressing it.
They're sort of bolted to the floor, and they need 110 volt three phase. Not. Oh, sorry. You can't just plug it in into a plug. You've got special wiring for it. And I need shelter because I'm going to get absolutely piss soaking wet otherwise, and then the ramp's not going to work because if it gets wet.
So there you go. That's why you can't work from home.
And I got no way to dispose of waste oil.
Down the grid. That's not. No, don't ever do that.
Not just pour waste engine
Yeah,
oil down
just
the drain.
don't. I'm just telling anybody who just heard that and thought, oh, that's a way of getting rid of it. Don't do that. That's naughty, and
Yeah,
you'll
it's
go
not
to
clever.
bed.
Sorry, if I pour waste oil down the drain, I can go to bed.
James, you can go to bed whenever you feel like it. Please don't feel like I'm keeping you here.
Night! I'm gone, see ya!
Working from home. Rate it out of 10, Tom.
About a 6 or 7. It's not great. It's not great, especially when I'm here on my own for 12 hours without doing anything and not seeing anybody. You know, we do have Zoom meetings and stuff every now and again, and we use Teams at work, so we talk to each other using Teams. But yeah, you do miss that interaction with people. You know, just meeting people in the canteen and going and have lunch with people, that sort of stuff. You do kind of miss
Yeah.
all that.
Think about it though, I set you a challenge for your meetings today, and did you achieve it?
I did.
We were on about 1 o'clock earlier, and I was like, I've got to go for a meeting. So I set the challenge, he had to say the word sofa during his meeting.
Yeah,
How did you fit
Sofa,
it in?
that's
Did-
so easy to fit in there. Especially
We
when you're
started
working
small.
from home, because you just say,
But-
oh, I'll do that while I'm on the sofa.
Yep, exactly. That's what I said.
Is that what
There
you
you
went
go.
for?
Yeah.
You give him a difficult word like dildo.
Almond. No, because then it becomes too obvious. If someone just says the word dildo mid-meeting, you're going to go, what?
Oh, right, is the challenge to slip it in naturally in
He's gonna
conversation,
slip it in, but
or
not
just
get
say
caught. Because if you do the word like dildo, it's just going to get pointed out. But the whole point is just get random words in there that people don't call you out on.
Do you pick words that are like completely out of circulation nowadays, like apothecary?
Yeah, that's your challenge for tomorrow, Tom.
I don't know if have I got any meetings tomorrow. I don't know if I've got any meetings tomorrow.
That's
I'll
your
have to
challenge
see.
for your next meeting is to get the word apothecary into it.
Okay, I'll see if I can do that.
That's going to be harder than sofa, isn't it? And
Probably.
also, you can't get caught. That's the point.
You
can't get
it's
caught.
just
Actually,
flow naturally, so nobody could pull you up and say, "Who goes to an apothecary these days?"
Oh right, okay, yeah, fair enough.
yeah, if someone's just like, "Did you say apothecary?" You lose. But if you can get it in there, no one questioned it. But they sort of, or even better if they agree with you. Like, that's a
See,
really
I know
good
exactly.
point.
I already know how I would slip that into conversation without being pulled up, and I would just sort of mask it as pulling myself up. So like I would just say, so I'd say like I'll do that after lunch because I need to go to the chemist, pharmacy, apothecary, whatever.
Ah, no, that's cheating as well.
Why is that cheating?
Yeah, you.
You just covered it. You just got to be like,
Well, okay,
someone
sorry.
says
Okay, you know, we'll do that next Tuesday. Apothecary. Of course, I'm going to get pulled up if I do it like that.
yeah, but if you can get it into a sentence,
I just did. How do you do it then, James? Go on, Mr. Creative.
I'm not very good at this. I'm not very creative. That's why I struggle.
I just set the challenges and then sit back and put my finger up my bum.
Yep. Why would I put my finger up my bum if there's already a finger up there?
That's making me very uncomfortable, actually. Just
It is quite comfortable because I'm sat on my hand, so I'm going to put my hand out now. How long can we have a silence on the podcast before it gets weird?
sorry, I had to take my headset off for 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. Did you ask me a question?
You don't.
Yes,
No,
you
no,
did
don't
answer
ask
the
him to repeat what he just said. Please don't ask him to repeat what he just said.
Okay, I won't ask him to repeat. I
Let's
trust
move
you.
on. Next topic. Come on, Pete. What's your next topic?
Next topic.
Yeah, Pete, what's your next topic?
Yeah.
Next topic. Is it worth buying a PC these days, or should you just tell people to buy a PlayStation?
It's getting... PC gaming was getting more accessible, but it's starting to go the wrong way again now. Just because of the sheer price of kit. It's the graphics cards.
It's because of the chip shortages and stuff.
It's not just affecting PCs though. Like new cars are stopping production as well.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But then, is there like a shortage in PS5 still, or are they pretty much available now?
Oh no, people are still struggling to get hold of them.
Because if someone suggested what to get, and if they wanted a console, I'd say PS5 over Xbox any day of the week.
Why?
Which is weird because I was always Xbox growing up, but
See, I've
Xbox
heard.
has one exclusive game these days.
What
As
makes
far
you
as I'm aware,
choose?
one exclusive that's worth it.
What's that?
Halo.
But what makes PlayStation worth it over Xbox?
Last of Us series.
That's a very underwhelming series.
I love Last of Us. Last of Us 2 was there. Last of Us 1 was amazing. But I can't think of it off the top of my head because I don't fucking
See,
play consoles. But
In my opinion, right, they're both probably roughly the same, right? The problem you've got is that PlayStation does have a lot of exclusives, but all the exclusive they have is the same type of game. There's nothing
Yes.
different about them. They're all exactly the same type of game. God of War is exactly the same as Last of Us, except it's different skins, different story, different abilities. But from that, the game is exactly the fucking same.
And
Right.
the other exclusive would be something like Bloodborne, which you can just play Dark Souls and have the same experience.
I don't like those sort of style games.
I don't either, but some people would argue that Bloodborne is a reason to have a. Is it PS3 it was on? As I'm sure they remastered or re-released or whatever it was for the newer generation. But
Well, they've got backwards compatibles in the PlayStation, don't you?
Yeah.
it's nowhere near as good as Xbox backwards compatible though.
I don't know. I have a PlayStation.
If you bought an
somewhere.
Xbox Series X now, then your entire Xbox One library is backwards compatible, which includes
good.
a lot of Xbox 360 and original Xbox games.
Or you could just buy a PC and all PC games work on it, just about.
That's
just
not
about.
entirely true though, is it?
Especially with like GOG though these days.
Well, even some of those games are broken on purchase. You have to like find
Yeah, but
community
they were-
patches for and things like that.
They were broken when they came out.
I know, but
That's part of the charm of the
it's
game.
not a selling point, is it? You know. I mean, for a long time, the only way to play Fallout 3 was on a console because both the Steam and GOG versions just wouldn't launch.
Yeah, but why do you want to play Fallout 3?
That's a good game.
I've never been a huge... I don't play RPGs really, though, do I? So
No, you play simulators almost exclusively these days,
pretty much.
which isn't
Well,
a problem.
I know people who... Go on, sorry.
Is Jurassic World a simulator?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I play exclusive.
In the same
I
way
played
that
Loop
like
Hero
Theme
today.
Park and Roller Coaster Tycoon are simulators.
See, I played Loop Hero for a bit today.
I don't know what that is.
You should play that. You'd like that, actually. It's a game.
I was going to
That's describe
protest
it.
actually, but almost every game you've ever suggested to me has been a hit. So
You should listen to me.
yeah, I really should. Like the ones that you choose for our streams, I've thoroughly enjoyed.
When are we starting streaming again? Is it this week?
Hopefully, yeah, provided everything goes okay.
And you're not late.
What game are you streaming?
Um,
A Way Out.
that's the one.
Oh, we've not
So what's
finished it yet.
No,
No.
we were. I think we were one stream away from finishing it.
Yeah, it's not a very big game. Me and Rain finished it in about 2 hours.
2 hours.
We have.
We've done about 7
we've
hours
just-
on it.
We've
Really?
just got the gun. We've just got guns. There's
Oh.
not
Keep
a
in
lot-
mind that we're
there's not a
trying
lot
to be as
left,
entertaining as possible for an audience whilst playing it.
Okay,
badly.
fair enough.
It Takes Two was good. I think I told you to go play that with Rain, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You said.
That's a
Said
very
that I
good
need to
game,
do that.
actually. That's so well put together. It's so well paced as well. Like, like time flies when you're playing it. It's so good.
But obviously, these games are all made by the same company. Whose name I can't remember. There's another one as well, but it doesn't have the same format.
What's the other one called that we've got?
What to play?
Yeah, We Were Here.
We Were Here, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
That's
trying.
cool.
I'm really tempted to just like launch it, see what it was like, but I'm trying my best not to. And I'm trying
It
my
has
best
to be
not
done
to.
two-player as well, so...
Oh, does it? Right. Well, I'm also
Yeah.
trying my best not to spoil it by looking at any videos or anything like that.
Yeah. There's one coming up called... one I think we should play soon as well, like Escape Room Simulator. We can probably play that with other people
Oh, I
as well.
think you sent me a link to that one.
There's quite a few YouTubers I watched in videos of it. I watched like the first 2-3 minutes and thought, nope, I'm going to stop watching this because I really want to play it with Pete.
It's nice that you thought of me.
It'll be a good game to stream. Stream.
I do enjoy our streams, James. I've got to be honest. And as much as I complain about you, I actually enjoy sitting talking to you for an hour a week.
You've got Stockholm Syndrome, mate.
I have, yeah. You've ground me down so far that I
How
no
much
longer
did he
have a
pay
sense
you
of
to say
self-worth.
that? How much did he pay
I'm
you
currently
to say
sitting on a golden chair.
What was it? There's a few. You've complimented me a couple of times this week, Tom.
I know. I don't know why.
Why
I
are
don't know
you
what's going
dying?
over with me. It's a new year.
Hang on,
new
you're going
year.
to take compliments from the guy who built a bar in his house to feed his alcohol problem.
There's
Yeah, what was it
still
you
those
said?
left. I said that you were worth listening to with the Scarlet.
Yeah, Ninja
Scale.
Squirrel is worth listening to here, and apparently I'm good at World of Warcraft. Are you sure you're not dying?
No. Well, I'm not sure I'm not, but I don't think I am.
Have you been given some bad news recently?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of. You can't remember because he drank it away.
Yeah, that's it.
You're the person that should be aware of if you have had bad news, so...
No, I haven't then. I haven't had bad news.
Oh, that's good. Well, good news for you, listeners. Tom isn't dying soon.
Yay.
You're gonna hit my fucking car or something tomorrow now, aren't you? And I'm gonna feel bad.
I'm going to be the one that's getting the death threats now. We'll be dying fucking soon. Far seeing. Sorry.
You know what? I'd be so happy if we get death threats, and I don't know how many people have ever uttered that sentence in history. But honestly, I would
History
love
of
to have
time.
like I'll even make a jingle for the segment. You know, like it's the death threats of the week or something stupid, and it's we'll have just a dedicated section for death threats to be read out in requested accents.
What's the hardest accent we could make for Pete?
I don't know.
Russian, but non-racist.
Oh, sorry,
No,
no, I'm
you
out.
can't.
Any
Yeah, you've
accents
got
that I
to-
do that would imitate somewhere would probably be perceived as racist, unfortunately.
Yeah,
because
so
there
you've
will be
got to-
stereotypes.
Yeah, you've got to do some version of an English accent. So maybe like a deep South Australian or American, or maybe an Australian accent as well. Sometime at some point.
It's up to
What
the
about
request
Italian
for the
trying
death
to speak Australian English?
See, now there's too many layers to that.
I didn't mean to say Australian. I just meant to say English.
An
But
Italian trying to speak English. Well, I've got some
Yes.
people I can listen to get that one.
no, actually, no. I want you trying to be an Italian trying to speak Australian English.
Oh my god. Okay. No. Well, hang on. If there's death threats and that's an instruction, I will try.
Yeah, but you said I can send the death threats, so
I'm going to receive a hell of a lot then if you can send them.
yes.
I better get ready for several per day. It's going to be enough for an entire podcast's worth.
See, that just sounds like effort, though. Like, can't we ask to write the email?
Yeah, that sounds like you.
Yeah.
Just get a template. I'm sure you can get a template. Just do a Google search for death threat template.
What the hell?
Just get him to say the same death threat over and over again for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Or you could change the odd word here and there.
Yeah,
So instead of axe, you can change to gun or to knife or to katana or something
I will
like
split
that.
your head open with my gun.
Yeah, I know. Pistol whip you.
A dried sandwich.
A what? A dried sandwich.
A dried sandwich. I
Okay.
will split your head open with a dry sandwich.
James, I'm so confused.
Is it bad that I'm looking forward to the fact that all the food vans and stuff will be back at work next week?
No, not at all. I mean, Christmas and New Year is just one big fucking inconvenience when you think about it. My shift's
Just 'cause I have
changed at
to
work
make
and I
lunch
work
then?
regular days all the time. What the hell's that all about?
You were so confused. Oh shit, I better set an alarm for going to work tomorrow. So I
Well,
don't
at one
forget.
time I started at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's not even morning anymore.
You normally come home at that time.
Well,
No,
I'd
that-
start at 4.
That's not morning because you stopped serving breakfast by that point, aren't you?
That's not how it's globally determined what morning and afternoon is. Just like
It
to
is.
point that
as
out.
soon as restaurants stop serving breakfast, then it's afternoon.
Is that when you say
I was
it's okay to start drinking?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I said I was extremely disappointed in your restaurant on whatever day it was, a New Year's Day.
What, my restaurant?
Yes,
Do you mean the chain that I work for or my specific restaurant?
the chain that you work
Oh, well,
for.
it's nothing to do with me.
Because I didn't wake up till about 11:30 on New Year's Day, and I woke up going, I really could do with a fucking sausage McMuffin, and they wouldn't bring me one.
Well, that's your fault for waking up at that time, isn't it?
Why didn't you go and fetch one?
Because they don't serve them at that time.
Oh,
It's like 10:30 they stop serving them.
It's
oh
11
yeah.
o'clock.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you. I wasn't listening to what time you said.
I woke up at like 11:10, so
Oh, well, that's your own fault. You can't blame anybody else for it.
I can. Whether I should or not is a different story, but I can. I can very easily say it's all your fault, Pete,
You can, yeah, but it's not true, is it, James?
because it is all your fault.
It is not my fault. That specific
It is your
one is
fault.
not my fault.
Most things are your fault.
Most things are my fault, but not that one.
Why didn't you order one from America? Because at that point it would have still been the right time.
I mean, let's face it, we've all seen the videos that McDonald's travels. Like, you can have a Big Mac from 6 years ago that looks the exact same, so it's not like... Yeah, but I probably would have forgotten I ordered it.
Well, it'd be a nice surprise then when it showed up, surely.
But I was staying at my cousin's, not on mine, so she'd just been very confused. And
Hey, actually, that reminds me, at one point we ordered food, and in the time we were waiting for it, forgot we ordered food and ordered more food.
Oh, God.
That was a good day. For me.
Not for the bank.
No, well, no. Well, whatever. You know, food's food, isn't it? It was
We
like,
ordered
just imagine,
gourmet-
like, you sit down and you order a curry, and then 4 minutes later the door knocks. You think that was really quick, and pizza turns up,
You know
and
what?
you're just like,
I mean,
what the hell?
I kind of had a similar experience with that the other week. Johnny, the guy that I was talking about with this Wow story earlier, he came up and we had a few beers, sat in the house playing we were playing Football Manager, right? And we had a few beers and we ordered food, and we ordered a curry. Little did we know that the curry doesn't do delivery, and we were way too drunk to actually go and pick it up. So I had to ring him up and say, we can't come and pick up the curry because we're too drunk to drive. can we come and pick up the money? Can we get a refund? And they were like, yeah, you can get a refund, but you won't come and drive to get the refund. I'm like, all right, well, I'm coming tomorrow, not now, because I can't drive now. So we had to order food again.
That's an unfortunate situation to be in, isn't it? Because not only are you still hungry, but you can't get your money back either.
Exactly. It was very confusing as well. Their website made it sound and look like they did delivery, but when I actually went on it,
there's a picture of a man on a scooter.
Yeah, he looks like he's doing delivery, not parking up to go inside the restaurant.
How could you tell
if you phoned up to cancel it? And then you like ordered, say pizza or something like that. Pizza turned up, and then the curry turned up. You'd be like, "What?"
See, that's what happens when you take too much acid before you order your food.
How do you know?
I don't actually. That's a good point. Yeah.
When have you ever taken acid?
I never on purpose or. Am I on it right now? Is that what's happening?
No, this is a fever dream.
Oh right, okay. I really hope so, because this has been a difficult experience, and I don't normally feel like this from a podcast.
It's because you're normally more organised. But speaking of organised, I think we have managed to drag our sorry asses through an hour worth of podcast now.
Oh my god, the nightmare can stop. I can finally wake up. Tom, I'm so sorry that you came for this shit show.
It's fine. I quite enjoyed it.
I'm sure you have. It's just normally I have more, I don't know, more control over what's going on. Normally I'd have had questions to feed to you, and
I'm on a leash normally.
Yeah, he's on a leash. I would normally have a tighter rein on the conversation, and it would be like none of this has been steered by me at all. This has just been complete random chaos, which is what it might look like in the podcasts, but believe it or not, it's organised chaos at that point. So what I'm going to promise now, dear listeners, is that we will bring Tom on for a more organised podcast at some point, provided we've not scarred him for life. And also, for the rest of the year, you will see the relatively, and I'm going to put relatively out there in louder words, relatively more structured podcasts that we had towards the end of last year. This is all my fault, and I apologise.
Is that your New Year's resolution, that the podcast is going to be more structured?
Nope, not my New Year's resolution at all. I don't have New Year's resolutions.
If that is going to be your New Year's resolution, mine's going to be to make it less structured.
James, you are constantly a force I have to work against anyway, so you don't need to set that as a New Year's resolution.
See how much more awkward and inconvenient I can make life for you over the next 12 months?
I don't think even if you tried you could make it more.
Oh, that's a challenge.
Challenge accepted, or...
Yes.
I know for a fact you're too lazy for that.
Yeah, good point.
If I'm coming back on, I'm going to need to double the size of my bar.
Stop giving him excuses to drink, James.
Before
the first step is admitting you have a problem.
Before this started, right? And James went out to go to the toilet, and I asked Pete, do I need something stronger than a cup of tea to get through this podcast? And Pete said yes. So I went and got a beer. Little did I know he meant something a lot stronger.
I did.
Hard liquor.
In my defence, I did say you've known James longer than I have. You know what you're in for.
That is true. I suppose I can blame myself partly.
Yes.
James, go ahead and plug the socials.
Right. The Twitter, Discord, and the email are down below, or in the description if you're on one of the podcasting apps. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, download, rate on Spotify, and subscribe on Apple, I think it is, and wherever else you can get podcasts, we're everywhere.
And please, please get in touch. Death threats.
Yes, please. Tom, do you want to post your stuff?
I don't do much on mine now, so no, don't worry about it.
Okay, don't go follow Tom.
No, don't go follow me.
Follow us instead.
Yeah, follow them. Send them death threats over Twitter. Make them use the social media that they were talking about that they didn't want to use earlier.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we are looking for someone to do the social media for us because we can't be asked.
We're not looking for someone to do it for us. We will do it, but nobody gets in touch. It's not a very difficult job if you do want to volunteer for it. It will take up absolutely none of your time.
It is also unpaid.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this was Words from Our Mouths. Hopefully we'll get some words from your mouths next time. Oh, James, you were too early with the bye. Now you can say it.
Bye!
Bye.